So hi beautiful people, you're welcome once more to today's tutorial. So you see this particular beautiful gown we are going to be illustrating today is a very simple gown, but it's very technical. Okay, so if you know you want to avoid what you ordered versus what you sewed, please take out your time to watch this video. Now if you know you want to make a particular gown that a celebrity can comfortably pay you for and put it on her body and walk around, watch this video. Okay, so you see how to make it yours. Now let's go into this tutorial. First, I'm going to be cutting on a mini measurement like I used to do. Okay, now I used to tell you people. Now if you have sent me illustration to make for you and I've not made it, please be patient. Guys, I'm very sorry. I have been very busy. What I am getting now is what I did not budget for. If you observe, even on the channel, uploading videos now is once in a while. I have a master class running. I have orders I'm getting from people to make some things for them and a whole lot of things. If I make a video and you have a question, please ask that question in the comment section, because you know why most people leave the comment section of the video I posted to come and be asking me the question on WhatsApp. Now when you're asking the question on WhatsApp, I have to start tracing back which of the videos are you talking about. It takes a whole lot of time before you get your answers. So when you have a question on a particular video, please do well to put the question on the comment section. It will help me to know which particular video you are talking about. Let's go into this tutorial. Now before I start this tutorial, I want to let you know that if you are making a corporate wear of this particular nature, please do well to use a crepe that is stretchy. When you're using a crepe that is stretchy, it helps you in case of mistakes. Do you understand? But if you know you are not going to be using a crepe that is stretchy, then please pay attention to details, because there's a way you are going to make it yours. E no go even enter the person at all. Okay, or the person will be feeling very uncomfortable inside it because it's not stretchy. But this particular crepe I'm using, this is mostly what we use for making corporate wears. If you use this to make your corporate wears, you will hardly make mistake. This fabric is a little bit stretchy, a little bit, so you can afford to play around with it. You can afford to make it very tight so as to bring out your client's figure. Now you see the center part of that gown. Okay, there is serious waist snatching there, and if you look at that center, you will see that it looks like it's folded, as in ruffles. It's not smooth, it's not straight. Do you understand? Now because it's not straight, whatever that is underneath that particular center part, like this, whatever is underneath it is more of a girdle. Do you understand? It's more of a girdle. That place is where the real work of this gown is, so that the figure of the person will truly come out. We are going to be drafting the whole bodies of the gown together. Okay, though by the time we are done drafting, the down part of the gown, which is the skirt part, will be cut out and I will show you what to do on that one. But the top part of this gown is highly technical. Now if you do not know how to plot, if you are a beginner and you are coming to this my channel for the first time and you don't know how to plot a basic bodice, tap on the description box below. You will see the link to watch the video. But I want to assume that you already know how to plot a bodice, so I will go right ahead to show you what you need to know. That is because if I want to plot everything, this video will be up to 30 minutes. If you observe, my videos are highest 25 minutes max, and you've gotten what you want. That's because I try to cut it short. But just along the line and you feel are some details you need to know, put it in the comment section and I'll be here to know. I have gone ahead to plot. I'm covering this line so that it won't be confusing. There's a line I extended. I'm covering it so that it won't be confusing. So this is the normal basic bodice of a gown. Okay, this is my bust line, this is my under bust, this is my waistline, this is my hip line, and this is the full length of the gown, which is the hemline. Okay, I've gone ahead to put my measurements around here. That is bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches, under bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. But if you have become a pro, please make your own plus 1 inch allowance. Okay, you must not follow my own. But if you are a beginner, like I used to tell you, it is better that it is 2 inches, so that in case if it becomes tight, you can easily just adjust. But when you make mistake and there's no enough allowance for you to work on, just know that the cloth is already condemned, unless if you are very creative and you can actually play around styles to be able to bring out something else. Okay, so now this is what I have marked here and we are done marking. Let's go straight into the tutorial. Now for this gown, we need the under bust. You can see where the center part of that gown started. It's not on the under bust though. If you make it on the under bust, by the time you are done with whatever you are doing, you will find out that it will go up. Okay, so hold on, just know that there's under bust. You are going to mark your under bust. Now if you watch that gown very well, you will see that the center part did not really start at the under bust, so you are going to be coming down by 1 inch. Can you see what I'm doing? You are going to come down by 1 inch from the under bust, and this is my 1 inch from the under bust. So this is now my real under bust, now under bust line. Okay, so we are going to be coming down by 1 inch. Now when you look at the center part again, you will see that that waistline did not end on the waistline. It came down into the skirt part of the gown. Look at it properly. It came down into the skirt part of the gown. Okay, so we are going to be coming down by either 1.5 inch from the waistline if you want, or 2 inches, but I want to come down by 1.5 inch from the waistline. Okay, and so this is my 1.5 inch for the waistline. Can you see now? So this is my skirt part. Can you see what I'm doing? Now I will be cutting out the skirt part, so that what we are doing will now be clear, because the lines are becoming too much. So this is the skirt part of this gown. Okay, so we are going to be marking our dart line. Okay, and we know how to calculate our bust. That line is with the bust span, so you will measure your bust span, okay, and 3 inches down you mark it, so that you can remove your dart from here. Or if you don't want to remove your dart, you don't want your dart line to be showing, just mark 1 inch from here and smoothen it out. That's all. Just mark 1 inch from this side and smoothen it out, because as you can see in that gown, there's no dart line showing. Okay, so that is that for this one. Remember all the tactics you have to do on the skirt part to bring out your figure or your shape. Now we go back to our pattern again. We have cut out the skirt part of this gown. This is it. We are keeping it. Remember I said I came down by 1 inch here, and I came down by 1.5 inch here, right? So now I'm going to be cutting it out. This is our real. So this is the center now. Okay, can you see? This is the center now. I will tell you what happened to this center. I set it aside again. Now I will come over back to our pattern again, now to work on that bust area and the shoulder line. Do you understand? So that's where I will have to now extend this line, this shoulder line. Just follow it the way it's slanting. Okay, extend it. You all know how we got to this area. Extend it down. Now it now depends on you to measure where you want your sleeve to end. Okay, to measure where I want my sleeve to end, and I want mine to come a little bit down so it could comfortably meet up with the armhole. That was what happened there. You can even bring it up and just curve it out. Okay, and curve it out. Now I will now measure. I want mine to be 9 inches. I want mine to be 8 inches. However you want it to come. Even if you want it to be here, just know that you are going to be taking your hand down to the armhole, because our armpit must not show. Okay, so even if you want it to be somewhere around here, just know you are going to be curving your hand out to the armhole. But I want mine to be 9 inches, so I'll be on the safer side. Okay, so I'm curving out like so, nicely. Okay, now if you don't want your shoulder to show at all, it all depends on you. but I want my shoulder to show. Okay, so I will be using 5 inch instead of 3 inches. This is our 3 inches normal standard measurement, so I'll be using 5 inch, and so I measure my 5 inch, and this is my 5 inches on my shoulder line, and that is all. And now there are two styles to this front side. You can either make this front, okay, this will be coming from here now. So you can either make this side to be overlapping, or this is your bust, remember, and we don't want our bust showing, so we are going to be curving out like so. Now it depends on you that you don't want your bust showing. This is where you end it. Now there are two styles to it. Is either you curve it out this way, and depending on how deep you want neckline to be showing. Now if you want to show a lot of cleavages, then you can come down this way, okay? But if you don't want to show cleavage, you can end it like 2 inches or 1 inch above the bust line. Okay, so now I don't want, and then again, secondly, it can be overlapping. Okay, that's a totally different style. I might be showing you how to do that, but I want to assume that this is a beginner trying to create this design. So you end it 2 inches above the bust line, and then you cut out. But remember something, while cutting out, okay, you are going to give 1 inch above this area and just slant it into this side. Reason is for ease. Okay, the reason is for ease, so that it won't be too tight. That is for a fabric that is not stretchy. But if your fabric is stretchy, you can just go ahead to cut it like this. Okay, because you know that no matter what happens, it will lap on your body. Okay, so let's go ahead to cut out. And as we are cutting out, let's go ahead to cut out, and we are not yet done. It is now the work want to start. So can you see now? So if you watch that, I'm just trying, had it been I'm the one cutting on normal pattern now, I know what exactly to do, but because I want to show you every details, that's why I'm cutting it out, so that you won't be confused. Now we need our bust span. We are going to mark our bust span, which is 4 inches here. Now around this bust span, we are supposed to have ruffles a little bit. If you observe, just a little, okay, just a little. So we are going to be slanting. Can just cut it 2, you can just make it 3. Going to be slanting. Okay, so you slant. Now if I'm the one making this, just a little, cut it so that it can rotate. Now if I'm the one cutting this style, I know how to add inches here so that I can pleat a little here. But because you are a beginner, please follow it the way I'm doing it. Okay, follow it the way I'm doing it, so that you won't make mistake. Now you place on another pattern paper. Now if you want it to overlap, this is where you will put the allowance for the overlapping, but I don't want mine to overlap, so I will just, if I want more pleating, I can spread these ones too, but I don't want too much pleating, so I'm going to be going with just one. Okay, and then I start to mark. We are now marking a totally new pattern now, and it's this pattern now we are going to be using to cut our fabric. Now remember that whatever we spread here, we are going to pleat it out here on the other fabric. Okay, so now I spread out to 2 inches. I want to call it that I spread 2 inches out, right? So that 2 inches, I'm going to pleat it back so that this my size, this line, okay, you can see now. If you place it, you will see by how many inches this one is wider. Okay, you don't have a problem with any of these places. Where you have a problem is just here. So you are going to pleat this thing to enter to this line back to be exactly this length. You will pleat this one to be exactly this length. Okay, so I'll go ahead. Cutting on this mini fabric, I just want to show you so that if you are no more a beginner, you can just go ahead to cut your own. But if you are still a beginner, I will still be cutting a life size of this one. Okay, but you have to watch this tutorial because on that particular one I might not have time to explain it again this way. Okay, and then again, when remember to place it that this, mark it so that you know that this is the base side and this is your shoulder and this is your neckline, so you don't go turning it this way. Okay, and you should be able to know that this is your armhole. Okay, if you don't mark it, you might not be able to understand. The skirt part, I marked it. The waist part, I marked it, so you'll be able to understand what you are doing clearly. Okay, so this is the back of my pattern and I will be folding it this way, okay, so that I can cut out. Okay, so where you are supposed to have that pleat, okay, is here. You mark it so that you'll be able to know it, and then you notch it. If it were to be a life size fabric now, I will just notch, but because it's not a life size, it's too small, I'm just doing what I can do. Okay, so when I open it out, okay, when I open it out, you're now going to be pleating that place. Can you see? You're now going to be pleating that place and you're now going to be pleating this place. Can you see? Just a little. The pleating shouldn't be much. Okay, so you can see your armhole now and you can see your bust area. Okay, everything is settled. Now you go ahead to, this is for the bust area. I set out this side because I'm done cutting. Now for this particular one, we are going to be snatching this waist, okay, by 1 inch. You snatch it by 1 inch. Now while cutting out this one, I will cut it out into two places. Now remember that when cutting this one, before cutting it out, like, you can decide to choose the shape you want your own to carry. Some can carry sweetheart shape, but on this style you can see that it just went straight, so that's why I cut my own straight. Now we are going to be snatching this waist. We are going to be coming in by 1 inch on this waistline. We'll come in, mark 1 inch, you come in, and then you still connect this one. Okay, this is what is called waist snatching. Now when joining, still remember that there's a 2 inches allowance. Make sure you follow your 2 inches allowance. If you follow your 2 inches allowance that you added, you will see that you have reduced this waistline by 1 inch. Okay, so our real waistline. Okay, now on this waistline, we are going to be cutting out two of this. Do you understand? We are going to, because remember that I'm concentrating on the front part. Now whatever you do to the front part, you also do it to the back part. Okay, more especially when it comes to this waist part, because the structure of this gown was highlighted by this waist. If your waist is not snatched and if your waist does not have structure, forget about it. You might end up not getting it. Now the second part of this one, which is going to be under this particular one, the second part will carry stay. Okay, it will have stay. Don't use soft stay now. Use either the hard one or just use something thicker. If you don't have the thick stay, double that stay, double the soft one into 2 or 3 places, double it and then lay it on that one before you now use it to cover this one. Now you can go ahead to create design. If you observe, it looks like that one was pleated. Okay, so you can go ahead to create your own, and by creating that one you will create. So this is the one that is going to be underneath. Remember, you can decide to choose another material, to use another material. You don't have enough fabric, but it's always beautiful to use the same material, so people will not even understand what went on. Okay, remember, anytime you're cutting out your pattern, add your sewing allowance. That is, if you did not read, we cut out straight, so we have to add our sewing allowance. So now I'm adding my sewing allowance. So this is the underlying one that we carry stay. Okay, this is the one under that we carry stay, and we are going to be laying this one with stay, either hard one or soft one that you have padded. Okay, you add it to this. Okay, now we are going to be cutting out the one that will be laid on top of it. Okay, I want to show you how that ruffle will be coming out, so that we'll now go ahead and cut our normal size fabric. Okay, now I want to create a little bit of pleat on it. So instead of cutting this size, I'm going to be adding just 2 inches to it. Okay, I'm going to be adding just 2 inches to it, and this is it. And I will place it back side facing each other. Okay, so you can see that this one now is a little bit bigger than this one. So what you have to do is, while pleating, while placing it, you now pleat it to be able to enter. Do you understand? And that way it will have a little bit of fold. Don't make it double, just add like 1 inch on 2 inch to it, and that's all. Now we come to the skirt part. Remember that we did not use this dark leg, we trimmed out 1 inch. So I'm going to be trimming out this 1 inch from this area. That way my dark leg won't be showing, and then I want to cut out my skirt part now. Can you see our gown is set? Remember that we are pleating this area. Okay. Remember that we are going to be pleating our bust span. Okay, so let's go ahead to cut it out. If you are the one that sent this illustration, this picture for me to illustrate, do well to comment on the comment section that you've seen it. Turn on your notification, because I'm going to be cutting. I like this particular style, so I want to be cutting mine out. But if you made it to overlap, right? If you made it to overlap, this is where it's now going to be overlapping. Okay, this is where you are going to put it to lay on each other. But I did not overlap, I cut it. So by the time you cut out this, you find out that your gown is going to be very beautiful. So let's go ahead and cut it out in our master class. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next video.